Honestly, the way that I tend to run things is we get through stuff as quickly as possible, but I often change due dates on the fly in order to either give you more time if you need it, or to allow us to move a little bit more quickly if that's what we collectively need. So it's not, I'm never going to use it as a punitive thing. It's always going to be, we'll just go as quickly as we can. We'll get through all the stuff that we need to do. The faster we go, the better off we'll be when exam time comes in May. I wanted to show you a couple of things real quick. First, if you haven't had a chance to check out Canvas today, it looks the way that I promised, with the current week up at the top, and week 1 is now demoted, and the rest of the weeks will line up in order as they happen. There's also a new module here called Resources, and this is where the videos that I'm taking are going to be posted. It's just my YouTube channel, and our videos will be right here. And again, so I'm not going to ever assign you, it's like I'm not going to say outside of class you need to watch some video that I've created and posted. Where you'll find these to be handy is, first of all, if you're absent, and given that this is a 6th period class, it's likely that at least some of you will have activities or athletics that'll take you out of part of 6th period or all of 6th period at times, or if you're ever sick, or you have a scheduled vacation or something like that. That is really handy to be able to watch what we did, so that instead of having to ask somebody else, what do we do in AP Bio on Wednesday, you'll be able to actually watch and see it yourself. The other thing that these videos are really helpful for is if there's a concept or a process that I explain, and a lot of times the work that we do is stuff that there's kind of more than one way to think about it. And so it's always best for you to know what my way is, because I'm the one who writes the exams. So I'm gonna, if I explain the particular diagram that I want you to be able to understand for photosynthesis, it'll be really nice for you to be able to watch me explain that process over again, because it's so complicated, you're not gonna get it all in one sitting. So I hope these are intended to be useful for you. So what I hope is that all of you, at least at times, find these videos to be helpful. All right, I have a couple other technological things to go through, and I'll move relatively quickly. This I don't think will take long. The first is just a reminder about phones, and what we were told is that we have a little bit of a grace period, and so the grace period extends maybe to Wednesday. But after that, so maybe I think it would be reasonable for me to say, starting on Friday, if I see your phone, then I'm going to take it for the rest of the period. And we can talk about it more individually if you either want to know reasons or if it's an issue for you, like if it keeps happening. Because what I would like is to have this not be something that you feel like is making your life more difficult. Ideally, it'll be something where I'll pretty quickly figure out, oh, here's where I need to keep my phone so that I don't mess with it during the day. I know for me, several times today, I've put my hands in my pockets and instinctively just brought my phone out, because that's what I do, just like a lot of you. And as you know, teachers need their phones because we have to sign in with our phones. And so if I didn't need my phone, I would have to put it in my desk or lock it up somewhere, because it's so hard for me to break that habit of pulling it out whenever I put my hand in my pocket. If you're like that, you might need to lock it up, put it in a cabinet, or put it in your backpack, get it put away somewhere where it isn't easily accessible. And then the next technology thing is Chromebooks. So the way it's going to work in here is I'm going to ask that you use only your school Chromebooks as far as electronic devices go. So no iPads, no personal laptops, whether it's a MacBook or a PC. I want you to use the school issued Chromebook. If you don't have one yet, then go get one, as soon as you can. go to the office and check out a Chromebook so that you have one. If you do have one, charge it up and bring it every day. I would suggest that you pack a charging cable, and then you've got your charging cable, you'll be good, even if you forget to charge it or if it runs out of batteries by 6th period, which might happen. And if you end up with low battery, I have one charging cable, and you're welcome to borrow this anytime you want, but I only have one. So whoever gets there first gets the charger cable. Anybody else, whether you have a Chromebook that's not charged, or whether you have whether you forgot your Chromebook entirely, are you all coming from CHS?
Yeah, we just have to go to AP.
Okay.
Or AP, sorry.
You don't have to go to AP Bio. Yeah. If you forgot it, I have loaners. So if you don't have your Chromebook or it's not charged and you lost your chance at the charger, then you can use one of the loaners. I'll just ask that you sign it out. They have their own chargers. They don't work with the regular Chromebooks, so we'll always have chargers for them. I don't know how long the batteries will last, but you'll always be able to plug them in if needed. And if you're not thrilled about the idea of using a loaner, then just make sure you have your Chromebook every time and that it's charged every time. And then the other thing about Chromebooks, and I'm going to ask you to do this right now, is that in general, so many of you are in the habit of, you come into class, you open up your Chromebook, that's fine. But typically what's going to happen is I'll make a couple of announcements and then I'm going to say close your Chromebooks. And so that's what I'm going to do now, close your Chromebooks, and then when it's time, I'll let you know, and then you can use them, and then when it's time, I'll tell you to close them. The idea is, what I would like is to be communicating with you face to face. And there's a couple readers in here, and while I love the idea of reading, I'm going to ask you to close your books too. So if you got a book in front of you, close it up. And if you would like to talk more about it individually, I'd be happy to explain why I don't want you looking at your Chromebook or looking at a book or looking at anything else during class. And I think it'll make a lot of sense. Some of you may have an agreement worked out with another adult in the building about presentations and or electronic note-taking. And if that person has more authority than I do, which is likely, then they're in charge. So if that's you, if you have an agreement with somebody in the building where you can follow along with notes on your Chromebook or take notes on an iPad, then of course I will allow that. Otherwise, what I'm going to say is if you want to look at the notes, we can print them out. You could print them out because they're available for you to print out anytime there's any kind of notes. Or if you have an agreement that says you need to be able to look at the notes, but it doesn't specify on a screen, then I'll print them out and I'll have those notes copied for you so that you can use them in class. Otherwise, you're going to write some stuff down, which is a really good habit to get into. And again, we can talk more about that if you would like an explanation of how and why this is going to benefit you. I'm happy to provide that, but we'll do that outside of class. Let's see, the next thing is turning stuff in. So I've said this a couple times, I'm going to keep reminding you, and it'll be something where it becomes second nature after a couple weeks or so. So I need stuff turned in on Canvas, because Canvas allows me to keep a record of who's got something turned in and when it was turned in. And both of those pieces of information are really important for me. So that means every assignment gets turned in on Canvas. Now, if there's an assignment that you have to write out on paper, then the way you're going to turn it in on Canvas is by taking a picture with your Chromebook. And your Chromebook's cameras aren't very good, which means that when I look at it on the Chromebook, I'm not going to be able to read it. So anything that you do on paper, I need a hard copy as well. So that means handwritten work is going to get turned in both on Canvas and on paper. And I know that that's a little bit of a hassle. I think it's not going to be too bad because I'll always give you time in class on Canvas. And it maybe takes a couple minutes, but I'll give you that time. Turning something in by hand doesn't take any time at all. You just pass it forward, you're done. And it will be really helpful for all of us. Again, if you want a more detailed explanation, I'm happy to justify my decision there, but let's do it outside of class. And so that'll be going forward. That's going to be how we turn stuff in. If it's all electronic, just turn it in on Canvas and you're good. If it's handwritten, turn in a picture on Canvas, give me the paper as well. Some of you are going to find, and we'll look at this on Wednesday, some of you are going to find that you turned in work and it hasn't been scored yet. So I had you do a couple things last week, and if it wasn't scored, it's because you either didn't turn it in on Canvas or you didn't turn it in on paper, or both. And for now, no biggie. I'm going to be real flexible with stuff while you get used to the system, but starting next week, there will be a late penalty for things that aren't turned in on time. So just be aware of that. We'll talk about the late work and the penalty for late work on Friday of this week, so you'll know exactly what to expect. All right, and that, so I already showed you the videos. So that's our logistics, and mostly it's, I know, about technology. Does anybody have any questions about any of that stuff? Okay. All right, so for the next stage of our operation today, I'm going to ask you to, you will need your Chromebook, so you can get your Chromebook out, and I'm going to ask you to go to our module, and if you haven't already done it, click on the College Board account link in Canvas and sign up for a College Board account. You're going to need to use a personal email, which means if you have to do a two-step, some sort of verification, and you have personal email on your phone or on another device, you can use that to do this verification step, all right? So for the next 5 minutes, I am okay with phones or personal devices being out while you get yourself signed in on the College Board. And then once you have an account, and some of you already have one, so you can just use your existing account if you already have one, then you're gonna enroll in our AP Biology section, which is 6th period, and the code is RXYQ7R. That's on Canvas, and you can just copy and paste it from Canvas into the College Board site. And once you've done that, then you'll have access to AP Classroom, which is where a lot of the work that we do is going to come. So in general, we're not going to use AP Classroom as a source of information, although you'll be able to if you want to. Mostly what we're going to use AP Classroom for is practicing. There are practice test questions, and we'll do some of those every week. We'll do at least a few every week. Mostly it's going to take the form of homework. So what I'll generally do is I'll post some homework, and then you'll need to do the homework, and then we'll review it on the day that it's due. For this first assignment in AP Classroom, it's not something that I'm going to score. It's not something that you need to submit or turn anything in. There's a video for you to watch, and then there's 3 multiple choice questions. Very straightforward, and mostly what I want to do is just make sure that everybody can get at AP Classroom. You can get signed in, you can get to the video, you can find the questions. We'll review them on Wednesday, and then for the next assignment, I'll explain how you're going to get stuff turned in on AP Classroom, because I'm going to have you submit your work through Canvas, because all the assignments are going to come through Canvas. So once you've gotten yourself signed up for AP Classroom and added to the 6th period class, just duck into AP Classroom and make sure that you can see the video and the questions. You don't have to answer them now, just make sure that you can see the video and the questions. And if you can't, let me know and I can come around and help you. And we'll just take a couple minutes to make sure everybody's on board with that, and then we'll move on to bigger and better and more fun things. Okay, is anybody having an issue? What kind of phone do you have? Saying your with your phone. Because we have fast cell service out here. Yeah, so that should work. Yeah. Okay, so this is gonna be a pain, but you're gonna have to talk to Mr. Do you have an hotspot? Okay, okay, can you go up there? And so there's no hurry if it takes you a little while, no big deal, but he's the one. I don't have any access to that stuff, but he can get you set up, he can figure out what's wrong and he can get you. Are you having Chromebook issues? Okay, let's see, what's the trick here? This one. Now, you might need to push the button again. Oh, there, it's working. You are? Okay, let me in.
It's like a month.
Yeah, we're finishing for 5 minutes. Yes?
So for the homework, are we just gonna like watch these two videos?
Yeah, yep, just one. Yeah, just watch the video and then there's some questions. Yeah, we're about to go get books. Can you wait until we get up front? Okay. Folks, while people are getting finishing the sign in, let me just tell you what's coming up. So on Wednesday, what we're going to do is we're going to run some quick demonstrations of some of these properties of water. I'm going to ask you all to run the demonstrations. So in a few minutes, not yet, in a few minutes we're going to go up front and get books. When we get back, we'll have a few minutes, and what I want you to do when we get back is I want you to find a partner to work with, and then I want you and your partner to do a little bit of research into how the materials that I have listed here can be used to demonstrate the properties of water that we talked about last week: cohesion, adhesion, and surface tension. And we'll talk a little bit more about it on Wednesday, but the idea is going to be, I have the materials. The idea is going to be that you're going to figure out sort of these standard demonstrations for the properties of water, and you're going to practice them for a couple minutes on Wednesday, and then you and your group will do a little showcase, so everybody will have a chance to demonstrate one or more of those properties of water on Wednesday. And this should be something that it is a good visual for everyone. It should be fun, and we'll talk on Wednesday about how it's going to be important for you to know these particular demonstrations are going to be actually useful for you to know when it comes to the AP exam. But before you find a partner and start doing a little bit of research, let's go get books from the library. So you'll need your student ID. Books can go home. You'll only use them at home. So you can just take them home with you today and then leave them at home. And once you've got your book, come back here, and then you'll have a few minutes to do a little bit of research into the demonstration.